Hello and welcome to another episode of Chat with Kat, where I have exciting conversations with real people about real life experiences and how we grow through our journey. Super excited today, you guys. I am going to talk about spiritual awakening. And this probably should have been my very first episode, but here we are today. So, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being on this journey with me. So excited to have you here. And the reason this came up is this week has been a lot of unraveling and expanding, and I just felt like it was time to share the journey, share the process, and see if you guys have felt or are feeling the same way. So I would say about 3 years ago, I really, well, maybe 4 or 5 now. Everything's a blur the last 3 years, you know what I'm saying? Kind of felt like one. Um, Really, I started to begin my spiritual awakening journey. At the end of 2018, beginning of 2019, ultimately was my rock bottom, I felt, in my life because I had never gotten to that low of a point in my life before with all the effort I was putting in. I've always been a really hard worker. I've always, shot for my dreams, followed my heart, did things that felt right or felt good, um, and stopped doing things that weren't feeling good. And it really was a tail between the legs moment of really feeling like a failure in my life. And in that moment, I retreated, I took a step back, and I really went within. And over about an 8 month period, I really came back to myself. I was expanding, I was growing, I was reading books, I was in probably the best shape I'd been in a while. And things just seemed to be evolving at such a rapid rate, and it was so exciting. And then ultimately, bam, 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 three more huge blows. And it felt so discouraging and so defeating because it's like, how can you go through your life, become a way better version of yourself, and people are rejecting you left, right, and center? Like you're the shiny new object when you're somebody new in an environment, at a new job, maybe a new friendship, relationship. It felt like I was the shiny new object and everyone wanted to be your friend until your light reflected things within them that made them feel attacked, unworthy, insecure, not safe, not loved, not accepted, even though that wasn't what I was giving off. Have you guys ever been in that spot in your life? I'm sure you have. So from there, I was able to come back to Edmonton because I had moved back to my hometown, had a little bit of an adventure in there. It was actually quite fun. It was very freeing, very liberating, being able to just kind of do my own thing, drive wherever I want. And, you know, it was fun for a while. And it was just so funny because I wanted to go back to stability. I wanted to go back to having a place to live. I wanted of my own, and I wanted to all of these things that I thought I wanted. Anyways, let's fast forward here a little bit so I don't bore you with all the details. But these are things that I wanted to share today in my own spiritual awakening because I felt like over this last week, I've almost had another one. I don't know how many spiritual awakenings you guys can have, but here's the thing, it's happening again. And the things I'm going to share with you today are the things that took me way too long to grasp. And one of the things we often hear is how you speak and think is literally casting the current scene your movie is playing. So everything you're saying and everything you're thinking is playing out in your life. And for the longest time, I was like, what does that even mean? Like, if I have a thought of doubt, oh no, I'm going to have the worst day ever. Or if I have a thought of inspiration, I'm going to have the best day ever. And I truly didn't believe in some of those moments. Like, okay, like we're all allowed to have bad days or bad moments throughout the day. We're all allowed to have inspiring and excited ones. Like, everything isn't supposed to be this unicorn rainbow glitter farting moment all day long every day. Like I just didn't understand or grasp the concept that everything had to be positive at all times. There couldn't be a negative, there couldn't be a negative thought, there couldn't be this, there couldn't be that. I didn't understand it. But here's the thing. When you start to understand how your thoughts and how they affect your feelings, and then your feelings affect how you feel throughout the day, you start attracting more experiences in that day that are going to hold that energy and hold that feeling. And I'm sure that is a way that people can relate. Like you get up, you stub your toe, you're angry, then you're late, you're stopped in traffic, you get in trouble at work, and then the whole day spirals. I'm sure you've had experiences like that. But what if you got up and stubbed your toe and you're like, good, I got the shit out of the way first thing. We're good to go the rest of the day. And the rest of the day is awesome. It's because you didn't give your power away to that negative feeling and to that negative thought. Another thing is that took me way too long to grasp is stop seeking happiness from outside of you and go within. And this is something, you guys, I am so passionate about guiding people through, helping them see this, helping them experience this for themselves. Because the more I experience it for myself, the more magical my life feels. And I'm a true believer when you can experience the feeling of something is when everything starts to click. There's so many times where I've been told, think positive, go be in gratitude, go meditate, go do all these things to up your frequency or up your vibration of how you feel in that moment. And sometimes you're just in a poopy mood and you're like, no. But then there's other times I've sat there and I'm like, hey, why am I in a poopy mood? Like, what's making me feel this way? And when I just sit and I listen and I process what I'm feeling, it almost like dissolves. It's really cool. So that brings me into learning how to listen. It took me so long to grasp how to learn how to listen to the triggers, reactions, and trusting your internal guidance system. So when you feel triggered and then you react to something, I understood it was coming from within, but what I wasn't quite understanding was like, how do I stop reacting to it? And once you have the experience where you go through something and then you don't react, instead you take a step back, you take a deep breath in. I'm always thinking of Jody. So shout out to Jody, who will be on my podcast. I'm so excited. She's always one for like just taking a step back, breathing, asking yourself why, and going within. So it's great to have coaches in your life. It's great to have friends in your life that are supportive in that way, because eventually what they're saying will click for you one day. And then trusting your inner guidance system. We've all been through those experiences where you have that gut punch. You know you shouldn't do the thing that you're about to do, and you go do it anyway. And then guess what happens? You're like, oh, why did I do that? I should have listened to my gut instinct, right? Yeah, I know you're feeling me on that one. Other things that took me way too long to grasp is all the things you say, think, and do create your reality. It feeds power into everything that you're doing. So if you're stressed out throughout your day, you're feeding your energy in, or you're giving your power away to that energy of feeling stressed out. And then what happens is that everything you do that day feels stressful. Even if you don't want it to, even if it's not meant to, that's how it feels because you already gave your power away to that. Detach from everything outside of you. Stop searching for things to make your life better and go within. Took a bit to grasp it. But again, once you've had the experience of these feelings, it's when your mind shifts. That's when you have these small awakenings or these big awakenings or realizations, whatever you want to call them. Learning to feel the feelings you want to live in and not distract yourself from them. This is a huge one, you guys. I cannot explain how important it is to learn to be in the feelings you want. And I practice this on a daily basis, and I am so passionate about teaching and guiding other people to learn how to do this, because once you can get up in your morning and feel peaceful, or go to bed at night and your mind isn't racing through the 700 things that you needed to get done, and instead it's just calm and peaceful, everything in your life starts to shift and change. And it's an experience like no other when you have this complete sense of peace. Life is a puzzle. This is one of my favorite things that came up this week. It's like when you're younger and you start out with the baby puzzle with the really big pieces, and it's the ages 4 and up. And then as you're going through your journey in life, your puzzle gets more pieces. It's like having that silver puzzle that's 1,000 pieces, everything's the same color, and you got to start putting it together. And you're like, what the heck? How am I ever going to get this puzzle together? They're all the same piece, but they're not. This is about discovering who you are along the way. Every piece in your puzzle is a connection to the greatness, the gifts, your purpose, your joy, everything that's inside of you already. So as you take these little pieces and you put them all together, you're essentially developing into the next best version of yourself, that higher version of yourself. And it's honestly such an incredible experience. Another thing, the less you react to life, the more peaceful it gets, which I've already kind of touched on, so I don't feel like I need to go on that. Another big one, you guys. Nothing defines you. Your circumstances, your choices, what other people are going to think about what you do, or they're going to give their advice to you. Nothing defines who you are except for the energy you decide to give it. If you decide to give your power away to what people are going to think, then we need to start getting that power back, because nothing can take your power away from you except for what you decide to give it to. And I encourage you today, look at what you're giving your power away to. Your circumstances and your choices that you're currently in might not be the reality you want to live in. Have you been there before? Are you there now? Your choices that you've made, you have no reason to beat yourself up over them anymore. They got you to understand either you wanted that or you didn't want that. And that's as simple as it is. We need to stop giving our power away. Everything in life is so simple if you allow it to be. Nothing defines you. If you make a choice in your life and other people are putting you down for it, it's a reflection of their own triggers, their own limiting beliefs, their own things going on in their life. It has nothing to do with you, and I promise you that. Life isn't meant to be stressful, hard, struggling, lack, fear, doubt, insecurity, worry. You know how many times I heard this? Not understanding the other side. But again, once you have one experience where you can see that other side, whether it's that glimmer of hope, that internal nudge, and you understand how it feels to be on the other side, it makes sense. And this, again, is another piece of the puzzle. It's another part of the awakening journey. If it feels good to you, you wholeheartedly know that this is what you're meant to do, whatever this choice, whatever this decision is, it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. Here's the thing I've learned. If someone's going to give you advice or tell you that you're wrong in the decision that you're making, it's coming from not only a place of them wanting to keep you safe, because they don't want you to struggle, they don't want you to suffer, they don't want you to get hurt. Understand the intention behind it. However, they're also not going to fall on the sword if they told you to do something and it didn't work out, because that experience wasn't meant for them. It was meant for you. So Next time you're going to make a decision and you are like over the moon excited about it, like you have turned into a rainbow glitter farting unicorn and you're going to go spread your magic somewhere, first of all, come to me and share it with me because I will celebrate the shit out of you. I will cheer you on. I will be your biggest cheerleader. But look at the people around you that are like, maybe you shouldn't do that. And like things haven't worked before. And I've been through this in my life and it didn't work. Here's the thing, that's coming from their own fear, their own experiences. You're here to live life for your own experiences and unlock your codes and your destiny and your journey and your purpose, whatever it is that you want to call it, you guys. You are here for you. That is it. That's as simple as it needs to be. You don't need to explain yourself to anybody else. If it feels fucking fantastic, go do it. These are all the things, you guys, that I have discovered, that I have become aware of on my spiritual journey. And I want to share them with you because I feel like there's so many of you out there that feel the same way. You're going through all these experiences, you're having all these realizations, these epiphanies, and you're growing into this version of yourself. But on the other side of it, you're living in the old version still, and it pulls on you each way. And I wanted to come on here today and share that is completely normal and we are in this together. And I want to be that go-to person for you. I want you to have support and encouragement when you're on a journey for yourself and be that guide for you to go back within. When you start living life from within, you guys, everything changes and in such a good way. I have been through so many experiences over the last 10 years that have brought me the best relationships, friendships, business, skills, growth, learning, not only about myself, but about other people. And because of all these little pieces to the puzzle, I get to sit here today and now help others do the same in their life. So if you are feeling called, you're in your spiritual awakening journey and you just feel like it's a clusterfuck and you have no idea sometimes what direction to take, I'm here for you. I'm opening up a 6-month coaching program for those of you who are ready to go, ready to be guided, ready to step into this journey, ready to embrace your own power, take your power back, really open up and expand this love, this peace, this joy and freedom in your life. So if that is you, book a discovery call, a connection call with me today. Let's get started in working together. I am super excited and super passionate to go on this journey with you, to share my journey with you. And for those of you who have listened today, thank you so much. I'm excited to bring more joy, more value, more peace, more freedom, more love to you as the days goes as the days go on. I can't even speak. That's how excited I am. But yeah, if you enjoyed this episode, please like, share, subscribe to my channel. As always, sending you so much love, so much guidance, so much support in any way that I can. Thank you for being part of this with me.